go ahead. I see you smiling and raising your hand. Yeah.
Capsule, I'm sorry, I'm going to completely and absolutely disagree with you. TOT makes sense if we didn't have MCA. TOT would make sense if we did not have the T ourselves. We have the T. The challenge we're trying to overcome is this gap of 10 years. And if you look at Russia, they themselves don't have a full regiment. They don't have squadron, they have regiment. In one regiment, there are 50 aircraft. They don't have one full operational regiment of Su-57 right now. They haven't produced what they need themselves. We don't need the T because T is our own. We were part of this Su-30 program as Spark FA or fifth generation fighter aircraft. We didn't like what we saw. 350 million we spent and we walked away. There is a lot we know about it and we didn't like it. So if you're filling the gap before our own homegrown fighter gets airborne, we should go for something which is proven. It's a bad choice, but amongst the two bad choices, F-35 is the less bad choice.
The truth of the matter is that we are between a rock and a hard place as far as this is concerned. As a purist, I wish that we didn't have to get anything from outside and we could just depend and accelerate the AMCA. But you are both realists. You've been in uniform. You've been in cockpits. So you, of course, speak a different language and I will hear you always. Thank you very much, Air Marshal Kapoor and Group Captain Nalawat. This was very illuminating and we wish that F-35 is safely able to return to its aircraft carrier very, very soon. We wish them the very best. Thanks for watching India Matters. Maria comes up next. Ceasefire is on her plate. Trump had a lot to say, but it looks like no ceasefires here in India.
Yes, and that's what politicians are, aren't they? That they are just looking for an issue to question Prime Minister Modi. Hello everyone, this is Left, Right and Centre and I'm Maria Shakil. The big U-turn by Donald Trump after some direct talks by Prime Minister Modi is our top story. Will this end opposition's demand for a special session of Parliament? Is the question that I'll be asking the Congress spokesperson who will be joining me shortly. Our second story is the role reversal in Karnataka politics between the BJP and the Congress on the Amul versus Nandini battle. I'll get you the latest in the investigation in the Meghalaya murder. A new character has entered the crime scene. And finally, the exclusive of Transport Minister Nitin Gadkari. Remember last week, he had highlighted details of what is now the new toll policy. But first up, for the first time since Operation Sindoor, Prime Minister Modi and Donald Trump spoke over the phone. The big takeaway was India setting the record straight. What did the Prime Minister tell Donald Trump? He said that India has not and will never accept a third-party mediation in its affairs. Prime Minister Modi clearly and categorically saying that the decision by India and Pakistan to halt military action in May was made directly during talks between the armies of both the sides, pushing back against the American leader's claims that he brokered a ceasefire. Remember, this conversation lasted for roughly around 35 minutes and Prime Minister going on to say that during the entire episode of the 4 days of military action and the clash between the two countries during May 7th to 10th, issues such as India-US trade deal or mediation by the US between India and Pakistan were not discussed at all, at no time and at no level, that at any level was this discussed at all. Let's first listen in to what the Foreign Secretary Vikram Misri said earlier today.
9-10 मई की रात को पाकिस्तान के हमले का भारत ने बहुत सशक्त जवाब दिया। सैन्य कार्रवाई रोकने की बात सीधे भारत और पाकिस्तान के बीच दोनों सेनाओं की एग्जिस्टिंग चैनल्स के माध्यम से हुई थी और पाकिस्तान के ही आग्रह पर हुई थी। प्रधानमंत्री मोदी ने जोर देकर कहा कि भारत ने न तो कभी मध्यस्थता स्वीकार की थी, न करता है और न ही कभी करेगा।
And right after that call with Prime Minister Modi, this man, US President Donald Trump, changed his tune on the claim that he brokered a ceasefire. He has now said that Prime Minister Modi stopped the war on the Indian side and he did so on the Pakistani side. Listen in to what Donald Trump said.
Well, I stopped a war between Pakistan. I love Pakistan. I think Modi is a fantastic man. I spoke to him last night. We're going to make a trade deal with Modi of India. But I stopped the war between Pakistan and India. This man was extremely influential in stopping it from the Pakistan side, Modi from the India side, and others. And they were going at it, and they're both nuclear countries. I got it stopped. I don't think I had one story. Did I have one story written about it? I stopped a war between two major nations, major nuclear nations. I don't think I had a story written about it, but that's okay. You know why? The people know. The people know.
But this clarification on the terms and conditions of the ceasefire did not ensure the ceasefire between the Congress and the BJP. The Congress saying that this is some kind of triple jolt to India. What the Indian government says is a diplomatic win is actually some kind of a jhatka. He said that this is happening at a time when Pakistan Army Chief General Asim Munir is expected to dine with the US President in the White House later today. The Congress going on to reiterate its demand for a special session of Parliament, also saying that what really played out in those 35 minutes conversation should be communicated by the BJP government in a special session which should be called, and also an all-party meeting which should be called by the government. This was of course countered by the BJP that the Congress and its troll army simply cannot digest the fact that the Prime Minister told US President in clear terms that India neither needs nor accepts any third-party mediation. Let's now listen in from both the sides.
ये आसिम मुनीर जब वो जनरल थे, इनके भड़काऊ, इनके उत्तेजक और बिल्कुल ही आपत्तिजनक जो आग जलाने वाली बात है, वो उसका ताल्लुकात सीधा पहलगाम के आतंकवाद हमले से, ऑक्सीजन दिया आतंकवाद हमले को, उसी व्यक्ति को निमंत्रण देना, विशेष निमंत्रण देना, वॉशिंगटन बुलाना, व्हाइट हाउस में भोजन देना, मैं समझता हूँ हमारे कूटनीति के लिए, हमारे प्रधानमंत्री के लिए एक बहुत बहुत बड़ा झटका है.
I don't want to dignify the Congress party's ongoing, hallucinatory, I would call it hallucinatory fake narratives that they go and put on. They're always looking for some way in which they can show India down. In the process, they not only enhance and exacerbate their own irrelevance, but show them up in front of their own party also for the kind of people that they are.
Rohan Gupta, spokesperson of the BJP, joins us. We also have Salman Soz representing the Congress. Salman Soz, finally this entire issue should be put to rest. Donald Trump himself saying that it was Prime Minister Modi who stopped the war from the Indian side.
No, not at all. What are you talking about? Donald Trump is basically saying time and time again, and now today itself again, that he helped stop a war, and that then he, gives Pakistan's General Munir and Prime Minister Modi and others part of this credit, and then he says nobody gives me credit for this, and he wants to take credit. But let me just say this: India's foreign policy under Narendra Modi is built on optics. It's not based on outcomes. After the brutal Pahalgam attack, when 26 innocent families lost their loved ones, Pakistan should have been diplomatically cornered. Instead, we got a ceasefire with no cost to the aggressor. And Donald Trump repeatedly taking credit, and the Indian government did not do anything. The Prime Minister, for all these days, all these weeks, has not said anything. And today he says that I told the president that there was no mediation, etc., etc. Operation Sindoor started with loud declarations, but was ended abruptly. Now, if that isn't, I don't think that is strategic autonomy. I think that is strategic submission. Our global standing today, I think, is shared by confusion, not clarity.
But how is really that a submission? I think, if anything, Prime Minister Modi today, in that briefing which happened by Vikram Misri of the nature of the conversation which happened between the two heads of states, it was clear and categorical that that never has India sought and will never seek any kind of third-party mediation.
That has been India's long-standing position. Nothing thanks to Prime Minister Modi. But what is surprising, what is shocking to me, is that for all these weeks, he did not utter a single word about what the president of the United States was saying, repeatedly tweeting, etc., trying to take credit in interview after interview. And so today he says all these things, and we are supposed to say this is wonderful, wow, wow, this is a masterstroke. Our global standing today is shaped by confusion, I must say. You have Russia, our long-standing ally. It is very weakened now. It is diminished. China is ascendant. America is basically vacillating, unreliable. India, I think we need some clarity. Where is India headed? We talk about being Vishwaguru. I think from Vishwaguru,
where is India headed is a question coming from the Congress. Perhaps the opposition needs answers. And are you ready to give those answers?
Absolutely, Maria. Party which was in power almost for around 55, 60 years, which ensured completely defensive foreign policy. Now they are asking answer from Modi government, who has ensured the aggressive and clear-cut foreign policy. This is the situation. We still remember 26/11 what happened, where Prime Minister ensured that our army don't attack. This is the party, which is the same party it is asking question to BJP today. And see the way they are changing the goalpost every day. Every day you will find new question from them. Every day they will peddle a new fake news. This is the situation of Congress party today. Till now they were asking the questions, why Mr. Modi, why Prime Minister has not answered Trump. Today when categorically in 35 minutes talk, he was very, very categorical and clear in his communication. What happens to their media chief? He comes out with another fake news saying that this is not discussed. Please take this statement when we are in meeting. The 35 minutes discussion, after that there is a briefing by the ministry. What else you want? You are changing the goalpost every day. You are becoming mouthpiece of Pakistan. You are peddling the fake news saying that Munir has been invited by military day parade by US. What are you doing? Are you a national party? Are you opposition, main opposition? Don't you feel that you have responsibility towards the country as opposition also? You are just failing all your responsibilities, all your credibilities day by day. You don't have to ask questions where it is not required. All the questions are answered by this government, BJP government, Modi Sarkar, when it is required to be answered. You cannot dictate what is to be done. From the beginning of Operation Sindoor, you are asking questions that Jaishankar, our foreign minister, external affairs minister, has leaked the news to Pakistan. What are you saying? The country will trust you. Will country trust your narrative? Okay. Your LOP, your leader asks questions to the government which are being propagated by Pakistan media. What are you doing? Today again you are changing the goalpost. This is not the way. You need to understand.
No, but how is this shifting the goalpost?
It is shifting the goalpost. Till now they were asking Maria question why Mr. Modi is not repeating or questioning Trump or countering Trump. Today, where categorically he has ensured that in 35 minutes talk, he has categorically told that we will not accept mediation and everything happened at the behest of Pakistan. Again, they are asking the new question. Don't you feel this is changing the goalpost? And this is not the first time. From the beginning of Operation Sindoor, when this terror attack happened, they started asking question, when will Modi government attack Pakistan? After the attack, they started asking another question.
I mean, that's being a little unfair to the parties. These are all political parties of the country. I mean, it's their responsibility to ask questions to you.
Just given, absolutely, Maria, you are absolutely right. Definitely, you have right to ask the question. But if those questions, where the benefit is taken by your enemy, do you feel those questions are right? Okay. I'm giving example of Mr. Jaishankar. Just give me, Maria, give me 30 seconds. This is a very relevant question you have asked. We are not against Congress party asking the questions. But when you question the intent of our own minister, Mr. Jaishankar, do you feel as an opposition party you are doing your exercising your duty properly? No. You cannot question our own government. You cannot question our army. Your army had made a clear-cut statement that this ceasefire or stoppage of aggression has been stopped at the request of Pakistan, where we were very clear that the basic objective of Operation Sindoor is to retaliate against the terrorist activity. Even after that, they are not ready to believe and they are asking questions, questioning the government, questioning the army. And they feel
Mr.
that
Soos, please respond.
I will. So if Rohan Gupta can change political parties, we should be able to change.
This is not. We will discuss it again, Salman. Let me please answer.
Rohan,
thanks for giving my example.
Rohan,
definitely I'll have a full debate.
Rohan, I did not interrupt you, Rohan. You just relax now. Let other people speak.
Yes, friends of the past should be a little more courteous than the present, rivals, political rivals.
So let me just say this.
Yes.
Prime Minister Modi talks about being Vishwaguru. All I can say is that he's the guru of confusion. Because the Indian people have a right to know where our foreign policy is headed. Let me just say this. Rohan today talks about, the Congress party when we were in power and how he feels now that nobody listened to us. But if nobody listened to us, then why is it that after the Mumbai attacks, why is it that Pakistan went onto the grey list of the Financial Action Task Force? Why is it that the UN Security Council passed resolutions against terrorists who were in Pakistan? Why is that? Why is that Pakistan was isolated diplomatically? Now, fast forward to what is happening today. Pakistan is not isolated. No country is out there condemning Pakistan. They're condemning terrorism, not condemning Pakistan. They're not isolating Pakistan. That is the truth. The only country that was steadfast in some ways with India was Israel, but Israel has become a pariah because of what it has done in Gaza. So the question is, if we have a strategic conundrum, India faces a strategic, serious conundrum, and we need answers, and the people of India deserve answers. And what is this conundrum? The conundrum is that our long-standing ally, Russia, their economy is now 50% of the economy that India had. Its economy is 7% of the American economy. China is gaining, and America is having lunch. The president of the United States is having lunch with the general who must have been instrumental in what happened in Pahalgam. He's having lunch, and the President Trump says today that he loves Pakistan. Is that not something that we should be concerned about? Is that not diplomatic failure? What the hell is going on? And then Ron Gupta says the opposition should not ask questions. We have to ask questions, and you have to answer. The BJP has to answer. You have to answer to the people of this country. And we, as the opposition, the main opposition party in this country, we have a right to ask questions on behalf of those people who voted for us.
Yes,
and on behalf of the country.
Okay, let me ask that question on your behalf. That dinner or lunch, which is going to happen in a couple of hours from now at the White House. If the opposition is saying that this is a diplomatic failure, could you have handled it better? Because he is seen as the man who instigated and is responsible for the terror attack in Pahalgam.
Maria, first of all, I'd like to ask for apology from Congress party, where they peddled the fake news saying that Munir was invited by US military for the parade. Would they apologize? They could not wait. This is the party now who they are using the fake news to do that narrative. Would they apologize? They will not. And I'll answer Salman Shows. What is the difference between our foreign policy now and then? He is now saying that country was victorious by getting statement of US and putting certain embargoes on Pakistan. This is the difference between foreign policy. Now Pakistan knows, just because of failure of your policy, Pakistan had courage to do this kind of attacks on India. During UPA tenure, 30 terrorist attacks happened, and none of the time Indian government showed the courage to attack Pakistan on their own soil. This is the first time India showed clear-cut words to Pakistan that if you attack us, we will definitely get into your soil and attack you wherever you are. This is the basic difference between our foreign policy, Mr. Sos.
All right.
You could never get
All right, Ron Gupta, Salman Sos.
26/11.
Thank you, of course, because this political face-off is going to continue and it's not ending anytime soon. So let me bring in Kanwal Sibal now, former Foreign Secretary and Ambassador, former Indian Ambassador to Turkey, Egypt and Russia. Ambassador Sibal, how do you look at the statement of Donald Trump, which came just a few minutes ago?
I have not seen the statement. Can you tell me what it is?
Yes, I'm going to play that for you, sir, right away.
Okay.
This is being seen as a U-turn by Donald Trump, where he has actually said that it was Prime Minister Modi who stopped the war on the Indian side, and he did so on the Pakistani side. Let's play that.
Well, I stopped the war between Pakistan. I love Pakistan. I think Modi is a fantastic man. I spoke to him last night. We're going to make a trade deal with Modi of India. But I stopped the war between Pakistan and India. This man was extremely influential in stopping it from the Pakistan side, Modi from the India side, and others. And they were going at it, and they're both nuclear countries. I got it stopped. I don't think I had one story. Did I have one story written about it? I stopped the war between two major nations, major nuclear nations. I don't think I had a story written about it, but that's okay. You know why? People know. The people know.
Ambassador Sibal, this is, of course, coming after the briefing which was done by the Foreign Secretary, where he spoke in detail of what the Prime Minister communicated to Donald Trump in those 35 minutes.
Yes, but he keeps changing. I mean, President Trump, he keeps changing his statements, his position, his discourse every now and then. So you don't really know what really is his thinking and his views. Has he been properly briefed? Has he absorbed those briefs? Has he tailored his positions in accordance with the verifiable information that he has got, or the one that he has verified? So he just, makes statements off the cuff. Now, just now he says that I intervened with Pakistan, and Modi decided in the case of India, which is very different from what he's been saying. In fact, he was saying that he threatened both sides with
trade deal.
With trade deals and this and that. I mean, he's not talking of that at all. You see, he has been annoying every leader of the world. I just heard the exchange between the BJP and the Congress representatives earlier on your show. Who has he not annoyed? At the G7, he walked away early. He said Macron is publicity seeking. When the German Chancellor visited him in his office, he implied that he was a descendant of the Nazis. Zelensky is very, very unhappy that he traveled 5,000 miles to Canada to have a meeting with Trump, and that Trump did not receive him or talk to him. He has been, he's been hot and cold on Russia. On occasions, he's been saying that he praises Putin, he praises Russia. At other times, he threatens Russia with additional sanctions. He has spoken out against NATO. He's spoken against EU. With China, he's been blowing hot and cold. Now he's got some sort of a deal with China. So it's not as if, with regard to India, he's taken a position which is different, entirely different from the confusion he's been creating elsewhere. And he's gone to such an extent where actually, as President of the United States, he's threatening a political assassination. He talks about, we know where Khamenei is, and we let him live for the time being, and implying that we'll kill him when the time comes. Now, can you imagine on what basis can the President of the United States or any political leader talk about political assassination in this manner? One can have differences with countries. Now, is it that the leaders of countries will go around and saying that we have a difference with X country and we will assassinate that leader? He's normalizing this kind of talk. So why are we beating our breasts unnecessarily about what Trump says or does not say, or what he does not do? Now, receiving General Munir or Field Marshal Munir is unprecedented. He's treating him like a head of state, like a head of government. He's actually making a mockery of Shehbaz Sharif and the civilian government of Pakistan. There'll be repercussions inside the country where whatever it is, there are forces which want the military actually to play less of a role in the polity of the country. And here, Trump is actually backing the armed forces. And then he's going to talk to him about what? Rare earths and investments and digital and cryptocurrency and all that, which are investment decisions, which are financial matters. These are matters that you talk to the government of a country, not to the military leadership of a country. Can you imagine a parallel situation where the CDS of our country went to the United States and President Trump invited him to lunch? What would it say about how he views India and the democratic leadership of India?
Okay.
So he's a very unpredictable man, and we should therefore not get too much bothered. And I'm very happy that our Prime Minister, after suffering a lot from misinformation that Trump was spreading, decided to clarify the matter, and very forcefully and publicly. He would have done that if he had met Trump at Canada privately. He would have said all this to him. But since he didn't get the occasion, and since Trump suggested that he wanted to mediate by asking Modi, if he can come to Washington after Canada, I think we decided that even if there might be a cost to it, because Trump is a very egotistical man, we'll go ahead and clarify matters in a very, very forceful way. Unprecedented. Unprecedented.
All right, Ambassador Sibul, really appreciate your time. Thank you so much for joining us. In a short while from now, White House will host a guest for lunch. Pakistan Army Chief, Field Marshal Asim Munir, who will be hosted for this lunch by Donald Trump. It's significant in the wake of the Israel-Iran conflict and US role in it. So what's on the menu at this high-profile lunch? Watch this report.
As the Iran-Israel situation heats up and Trump warms up to the idea of joining the Israeli campaign on Iran, what's cooking at the White House? Pakistan Army Chief, humiliated and defeated during India's Operation Sindoor, is headed for a Trump treat. A lunch with POTUS. Here's what's on the menu. So why is Trump rolling red carpet for Field Marshal Asim Munir? While Munir may walk in thinking Turkey, top on Trump's mind will be bases in Pakistan. If the United States decides on going full throttle against Tehran, it will need Pakistan bases for its mission. Pakistan shares 900-kilometer border with Iran, and it will be a perfect logistics base for the United States. US drones and jets could use Pakistan bases for their mission Tehran. US may also see Pakistan nukes and military assets as a leverage against Iran. Trump may also seek out Pakistani leadership to negotiate with Iran leaders. So while it may seem like Asim Munir has scored a point with a lunch date with Trump, it's actually Trump's wish list that will be served to the Pakistani Army Chief, who will have to swallow his beaten pride and agree to the terms.
Shifting focus to the second story on the left, right and center, the Amul versus Nandini issue, which sparked controversy ahead of the 2023 elections, is back in Karnataka, and this time the Congress, at that time the Congress had accused the BJP of trying to undermine Nandini, the homegrown brand, by backing Amul, a brand from Gujarat. The Siddaramaiah government has been criticized by the BJP and the JDS now for allowing Gujarat-based dairy brand Amul to open kiosks at 10 metro stations in Bengaluru. Amul has been given approval to set up all these kiosks by the Bengaluru Metro Rail Corporation Limited, which has floated a tender for this purpose. But the opposition has declared that the state should have given these to Karnataka Milk Federation run Nandini brand instead. The JDS is accused Karnataka's Deputy Chief Minister D.K. Shivkumar of having sold his self-respect for the sake of commission, and has gone ahead and slammed the Congress for having used the Nandini brand to win votes in the 2023 Assembly elections. Let's listen in to the political reactions.
PMRC ಎಲ್ಲವರು ಗ್ಲೋಬಲ್ ಟೆಂಡರ್ ಕರೆದಿದ್ರು. ಸೊ ಯಾರು ಹಾಕೊಂಡಿದ್ರು ಅಮೂಲ್ ಅವರು ನಮಗೊಂದಷ್ಟು ಅಂಗಡಿ ಬೇಕು ಅಂತ ಹಾಕಿದ್ರು. ಅಂಗಡಿ ಬೇಕು ಅಂತ ಇದ್ದಾಗ ಕೊನೆಗೆ 10 ಕಡೆ ಬೇಕು ಅಂತ ಅವರು ಅರ್ಜಿ ಹಾಕ್ತಿದ್ರು. ಸೊ ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ನಾನು ಇವರು ನಮ್ಮ ಕೆಎಂ ಅರ್ಜಿ ಹಾಕಿಲ್ಲ. ಈಗ ನಾವು ಅವ್ರಿಗೆ ನೀವೆಲ್ಲ ಎಚ್ಚರಿಕೆ ವಹಿಸಿದ ಮೇಲೆ ಕೆಎಂ ಹೇಳಿದ್ದೀವಿ, ನೀವು ಅರ್ಜಿ ಹಾಕಿಲ್ಲ. 8-10 ಕಡೆ ಐಡೆಂಟಿಫೈ ಮಾಡಿದ್ವಿ. 8 ಕಡೆ ಕೆಎಂಎಫ್ಗೆ ಹೇಳಿ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ದೀವಿ.
When the BJP was in power in 2023, just before the assembly elections, that Congress party had created a ruckus inside the house as well as on the streets of Karnataka, stating that Amul is an outsider product. How can it be promoted in Karnataka? And it is grower injustice for Nandini. Now, they themselves are promoting Amul. Siddaramaiah, DCM Shivkumar should answer this. Are they not? Do they not love their own state? Do they not love their own product? If they love, then why are they promoting Amul? If Amul can be promoted, then why did they oppose when BJP was in power?
All right, Dr. Ashwin Gowda joins us. So we also have Shatabdi Shivanna representing the Congress. Mrs. Shivanna, why this role reversal? You did the same thing when you were in opposition. You wanted power. At that time, you spoke for the homegrown brand. Why this change in stand? What has changed overnight that you have stopped backing Nandini and you are going ahead and allowing Amul in Karnataka?
I don't think there has been any change. Nandini isn't just a formidable brand. It is the beating heart of Karnataka's dairy farmers. And the Congress government in Karnataka will ensure that it stays that way. Now, the fact of the matter is, the BMRCL floated a global tender. BMRCL now comes both under the center as well as the state, major chunk of the funding coming from the center. My preliminary point being that the state can't be made entirely responsible for this. Secondly, it appears that Amul was the sole bidder. Now, why KMF has not participated is being looked into. Is it because of market feasibility? Is it because of non-awareness? All these facts will come out. However, the Deputy Chief Minister has made it explicitly clear that we are going to retain the 2 already open outlets of Amul, and 2, we are going to reopen the licensing process for the remaining 8 unused locations. We will invite KMF or Nandini to participate and apply in these tenders, and we will ensure its allocation. Now, our manifesto promised that we wouldn't allow Nandini to be overshadowed. And that's exactly what we are doing. We are keeping the Amul kiosks that are already functional.
No, but it was an outsider-insider discussion, or this entire controversy happened when it happened in 2023, just ahead of the Karnataka elections. At that time, Amul was the outsider, Nandini the insider. Outsider was threatening the insider, and hence you were targeting the BJP, which was in power then.
It is the same now. We are fully backing Nandini and the KMF.
So, okay, they are backing, then what is the reason? Why is it being even allowed at metro stations?
No, I just explained the facts to you. Now, BMRTCL has floated a global tender and Amul was the sole bidder. Why KMF did not participate is being looked into. Our thing now that that they have already been allocated 2, there are remaining 8 unused operational kiosks, which we are going to ensure that Nandini gets it. Nothing more, nothing less.
Dr. Gowda.
The debacle of the Congress government in Karnataka lies in its double standards, its duality in their political attitude and their contradictory viewpoints. In stark contrast to the remark that they have made during the 2023 assembly elections, now they're promoting both Amul and they're promoting Amul over Nandini. What was their narrative, the whole narrative during the 2023 election? That Amul is an outsider brand, Nandini is an insider brand. BJP government has totally sidelined Nandini and it has promoted Amul. And now they are saying, I think they might have forgotten what they have said during 2023 election. And the Congress leaders, especially the DCM, is suffering from amnesia, especially the political amnesia. It is totally farcical. There should always, their words and actions should tandem with each other. They always differ. Whatever they say, they do something else. And in contrast to that, we want both the brands. Nandini is already made a globally appreciated brand. Nandini is our pride. We should always give a priority to Nandini, and then we can also allow Amul to come inside. Amul is also an Indian brand. Nandini is also Indian brand. That was our stand. But in contrast to that, they've created so much political clamor during the election, and they are doing something else different, and they are substantiating also. This is totally farcical and it is condemnable.
Okay, so why did you change your stand from backing for what you did is essentially what the BJP is doing against you? It's history repeating itself, or I would say role reversal.
At the cost of repetition, I am saying we haven't, permitted.
No, but But I get your global tender argument. But if you want to protect a brand, what was the need for, floating this global tender?
See, that's precisely what I'm saying. BMRCL comes under both the center as well as the state. Now, why they floated this tender, why KMF did not participate is being looked into. Now, our friends in the media and the opposition have informed us that, Amul has gotten this tender. We can't do anything about the
So,
two
no.
locations.
Are you running a government which is so unaware of these very crucial details?
No, it's not that. The BMRCL has floated a tender. We are inquiring why KMF did not participate. We are backing the
Only after the contract has been given to Amul.
No, we are backing Nandini wholeheartedly. Now Nandini is not just beneficial for the producer, it is also beneficial for the consumer. Our stance is clear. Amul will not come, and it is a concerted effort by the Bharatiya Janata Party to ensure that they eat up Karnataka local farmers. We will not permit this to happen.
But anti-Amul campaign helped you substantially during the polls.
We are still anti-Amul, Maria. We are still anti-Amul. We are for Nandini. It is not just a Amul versus Nandini issue. It is emotive. It's an emotive issue to the people of Karnataka, to the farmers of Karnataka.
Okay. So if it is an emotive issue, then Dr. Gowda, why can't the BJP and the Congress be on the same page?
Yeah, please.
Both of you are speaking for the people and the farmers of Karnataka, the milk producers of Karnataka.
Our stand has always been the same. We are not changing our stand. We are not expressing the contradictory viewpoints. What was our stand before? We have allowed both Amul and Nandini to operate inside Karnataka. And today also we stand by the same stand. In contrast to that, they have created a political clamor just to score the brownie points. They just said we are ignoring Amul, we are ignoring Nandini, and we are promoting Amul. What are they saying? What are they doing now? They are spinning one story, farcical story, saying that BMRCL has floated a global tender. Only Amul has participated. KMS Nandini wasn't aware of it. And they look into it. They'll solve the issue, and they will allow Nandini to come and operate. What is this bullshit?
All right, we have really come to the end of this, Dr. Gowda. We have to be careful with the language as well. So please be careful in future. Shatabdi Shivanna, thank you so much for joining us. In the sensational honeymoon murder of Raja Raghuvanshi, after the reconstruction of crime scene yesterday and recovery of the second murder weapon, now the investigation focus has shifted to Indore, and Meghalaya police is pursuing to dig deep, in fact, to question family members and looking for the missing phones of Sonam, and is also looking at the calls that have been made. Apparently, there is someone that she called for close to 100 times. Here's a special report.
A team of Meghalaya police at Sonam Raghuvanshi's residence in Indore to question family members and record statements. As Meghalaya police now focuses on getting more finer details in Indore. Police sources have told NDTV investigation now focuses on Sonam's missing phone that she claims to have been destroyed. There is a new twist in the story. She used to talk to the suspect for hours. The name of the person with whom Sonam used to talk for hours is being told as Sanjay Verma, a new name in the case. When Sanjay Verma was called, his number was switched off. Sonam had called Sanjay Verma 119 times between March 1st and March 25th. The conversations were between March 1st and March 25th.
हमने लगभग जितनी इस बात में सत्यता थी लगभग हमने कंप्लीट बताई है, मीडिया को भी बताई है और उन लोगों को भी बताई है। मुझे पता चला है कल के मेघालय पुलिस आई हुई है इंदौर। मुझे बुलाया तो है शिलोंग बयान लेने के लिए, मगर अभी तक कोई कंफर्मेशन नहीं है।
In fact, right now as we are speaking, my team is there in Indore. They have gone to the flat of the flat where Sonam was kept. They have conducted search out there. The flat is empty, but they will be camping in Indore for actually questioning a lot of things.
Now a new video has also surfaced where Raja is seen leaving home with a white trolley bag for Indore. This bag is also seen in the CCTV footage of the Manhar Hotel in Meghalaya Sora, which the couple left as they did not get a room before going to the trek. Meghalaya police are looking for CCTV footage in Indore as well.
In the sensational Raja Raghuvanshi murder case, the focus of investigation of Meghalaya SIT has now shifted to Indore. Sources tell us that there are several people on their questioning list. the Meghalaya SIT is also carrying out search operations for the missing phones of Sonam Raghuvanshi. In her interrogation, Sonam had claimed that those phones have been destroyed. However, Meghalaya police sources do tell us that a SIM card was used by Sonam in another phone to stay in touch on WhatsApp, and maybe that phone was with her when she escaped from Indore to Ghazipur, where she surfaced. Meghalaya police is in Indore also to check details about people who have been in constant touch with Sonam, barring the 4 accused who have been already arrested. The focus remains to find out if there are more people linked to this sensational murder case apart from Sonam, Raj and the 3 assailants. With bureau inputs in Shillong, Ratndeep Chaudhary for NDTV.
In a transformative step towards hassle-free highway travel, the Government of India has introduced a FASTag based on annual pass priced at 3,000 rupees effective from 15th of August 2025. And it will be valid for a year. How will it really impact your journey? Remember, Nitin Gadkari had actually told about this to us last week in that exclusive interview. But first up, a quick update from my colleague Aishwarya Patil.
Well, Union Minister of Road Transport and Highways Nitin Gadkari today announced the new FASTag-based annual pass. Now, this pass is priced at about 3,000 rupees and it will be launched effective from the 15th of August 2025. As far as the validity is concerned, it will last up to a year or up to 200 trips. Now, as far as the usage is concerned, and the purpose why this pass was launched is to provide seamless and cost-effective travel on the national highway or the expressway network across India. As far as this pass is concerned, you can purchase this pass on the Rajmarg Yatra app or the National Highway or MORTH website, which is the Ministry of National Highway, Road Transport and Highways website. Now, as far as this policy target is concerned, it is to reduce the wait time, congestion and disputes at key toll plazas across national highways. The existing FASTag system is a pay-per-use or usage-based system so far, and that will also continue. But this one is for those who are frequent travelers and would like to use the roadways on a daily basis. Now, 2 FAQs, very important ones that everyone's been asking is, what counts as a single trip when we say that 200 trips will be calculated. So, of course, each crossing of the toll plaza will be counted as one trip. And if you go to and fro from one toll plaza, that will be counted as a round trip. The other part is if you have registered your one single vehicle for this particular pass, it will be attached and remain with that particular vehicle which has been registered. It is non-transferable. So if you own 2 vehicles, you will have to buy 2 passes. These are the 2 FAQs that most of the people have been asking about as far as this pass is concerned.
सरकार ने जो निर्णय किया है वो बहुत बड़े प्रमाण पर जनता को राहत देने वाला है, जिसमें 3,000 रुपये में जो पास है साल भर का, उसकी अगर टोल पे किया जाएगा तो उसकी कीमत कम से कम 10,000 से ज़्यादा रुपए का टोल देना पड़ता था, वो केवल 3,000 रुपये में होगा। और ये जो वैलिडिटी है 1 साल में 200 ट्रिप वो क्रॉस कर सकते हैं। जो सिस्टम हम लोग ला रहे हैं उसके बाद टोल नाके पे जैसे रुकना पड़ता था, रुकने की भी जरूरत नहीं पड़ेगी और निश्चित रूप से ये जनता को ये स्कीम से राहत मिलेगी। ये स्कीम केवल नेशनल हाईवे के लिए है और 15 अगस्त से ये स्कीम पूरे भारत भर शुरू होगी और जिसमें निश्चित रूप से आपकी जो तकलीफ थी वो कम होगी।
तू ही तो है जिसकी सच्चाई वाली क्लैरिटी की वजह से मैं आज यहाँ हूँ।
गोल्ड प्लस सिल्वॉक्सी मिरर्स, ऐसी क्लैरिटी कि आपको सिर्फ सच नजर आए, चाहे कितने भी साल बीत जाएं।
If it matters to you, if it matters to you, if it matters to you, it matters to India. It matters to India.
and it matters to me. And it matters to me.
India Matters with Shivaru. Only on NDTV 24x7.
I've been reporting on all issues big and small from Andhra Pradesh, Telangana, rest of South India, bringing you all the action, all that you need to know, all that you want to know.
The energy of Maximum City is infectious. I'm bringing that energy in our news coverage from financial capital Mumbai.
Covering from the southernmost part of India over the last 23 years, I bring in-depth and 360-degree coverage from the Dravidian heartland.
The land of Mishti, also known for its bitter politics. I have seen much water flow under the Howrah Bridge, covering Bengal in all its vivid colors.
India's IT capital is always bustling, a city full of startups, stories and surprises. And I keep you ahead on all the Bengaluru buzz.
The markets move fast.
And so should your portfolio. Expert.
After warnings, ultimatums, and even a death threat by Israel Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu and US President Donald Trump, Iran's supreme leader has spoken, and he has said that he will never surrender. Ayatollah Khamenei was responding to US President's call for an unconditional surrender. While addressing the people of Iran from his secret hideout, Iran's supreme leader said that Tehran will never surrender. And countering the threats given to him by Netanyahu and Trump, Ayatollah warned the United States of irreparable damage if it intervenes in the Israel-Iran conflict. President Trump had given a veiled threat that the United States and Israel know exactly where the so-called supreme leader is hiding. Today, the exiled crown prince of Iran declared that Khamenei's Islamic Republic is collapsing, and he urged citizens and soldiers alike to rise up against the regime. Reza Pahlavi, who is the son of the last Shah to rule before Iran's 1979 Islamic Revolution, has long been a prominent critic of Khamenei, and today he gave a call that he wants to replace Iran's clerical rule with a national and democratic government. Pahlavi, in fact, took to social media to issue a rallying cry. Let's listen in to what the Iranian prince in exile said.
جمهوری اسلامی به پایان خود رسیده و در حال سقوط است. خامنه‌ای همچون موشی هراسان زیر زمین پنهان شده و کنترل اوضاع را از دست داده است. آنچه آغاز شده برگشت ناپذیر است. آینده روشن است و ما با هم از این پیچ تند تاریخ عبور خواهیم کرد. در این روزهای دشوار دل من با همه شهروندان بی‌دفاعی است که آسیب دیدند و قربانی جنگ طلبی و توهمات خامنه‌ای شدند. من سالها کوشیدم تا میهنمان گرفتار آتش جنگ نشود. پایان جمهوری اسلامی، پایان جنگ 46 ساله آن با ملت ایران است.
Ghazali is joining us. Ghazali, this conflict has only widened, and it appears that the end game of US and Israel is of some kind of regime change. And given the statement which has come in from the Iranian prince in exile, is it all heading in that direction?
Oh, yes, certainly, because Mr. Netanyahu also ended up saying it. Mr. Trump has already indicated, saying that Mr. Khamenei or the Iranian leadership should come to the negotiating table, else there would be no one to negotiate. In a sense, hinting that there would be regime change, or this entire operation is aimed at toppling Mr. Khamenei and his government there. But we have seen in the past that how America's or US's this entire project of regime change has spilled more blood. It has created more violence. Iraq and the birth of ISIS is a clear example. But this time around, a clear face like Reza Pahlavi, the crown prince or the exiled prince, is there. But we'll have to see that whether he will be accepted by the Iranian people or not, because the kind of attacks which have been carried out by Israel and Iran will certainly create more hatred for Israel and US in the Iranian public. And despite having limited options with Mr. Khamenei coming out today in a televised address, at least he has sent out a message to his domestic audience that Iran is not taking anything lying down without fighting it out against both the governments of US and Israel.
All right, Ghazali, appreciate your time. Let me bring in James Borden, who is an Arab and Middle East expert. We also have David Johnson, journalist and author. It's a developing situation here, David. US President Donald Trump talking about political assassination of a supreme leader of another country. I mean, this is never seen before in the world history.
No, and it's a very, very unwise policy because it invites retaliation on the same scale. And in fact, US law explicitly prohibits anyone, including the president, from threatening to assassinate a foreign leader. So this is astonishing, but it goes to the fact that Donald Trump has no idea what he's doing. He's in way, way over his head. And he's convinced himself, and I've known Donald for almost 40 years. I spent hundreds of hours with him. He's convinced himself that he has these magical powers. He can get foreign heads of state to bow their knee to him, to say thank you for things that would be terrible for their countries, and that he can end wars in a day or with one phone call. And it's all nonsense, but so long as Donald remains in the White House, he will continue to operate this way.
And James, particularly this, the Iranian prince in exile giving that call, it's almost like a clarion call, which is happening to the people, telling the military there that they should be, they should rise up against Ayatollah Khamenei. Do you think that will lead to some kind of mobilization?
Well, we know that Iran already has a large number of insurgent groups. In fact, they have their own little version of the rebel alliance called the MEK because they have so many that they seek to coordinate with each other. And so this step of eliminating the leadership of the national leadership, and I'm led to understand that Israel actually targeted and brought down the building in which they had their internal security building. And so in a lot of ways, this will open up a huge can of worms for the countries on Iran's borders. They could see increased problems with these insurgent groups bleeding over into the neighboring states.
Okay, a little more thought on this, James. Do you see this conflict widening?
I don't know if I see it widening. It still seems to be very well contained. We have not seen any other countries get involved. And really, again, larger expansion would, I think, have to come at the expense of the Israelis. Now, that could happen. We know that the GCC nations do not want to see Israel likely take out a head of state, and they don't want Iran to be overly destabilized. So if they take that step, if Iran does descend quickly into large amounts of chaos, you could see the nations around them, around Israel, engage in more steps. Now, whether that would initially spring towards a military conflict, I'm not quite so sure, but it could over the long term. So short term, no. Long term, very possible.
David K. and James, thank you so much for joining us. Iranian military assets have been pounded as Israeli strikes sites across Iran. Satellite images, which have been accessed by NDTV, reveal extent of damage on the Iranian side. Here's a quick analysis by Vishal and Arjun. I'm leaving you with this. Thanks so much for watching.
Well, we break down the before and after and why these sites exactly matter now more than they have ever before, starting with the Tabriz missile facility. Over to you, Vishal.
Well, these images that we have accessed through NDTV's medium, these are images done by the Maxar Technology Space Company. You can see the damage done on the bottom of the screen. 3 facilities have been totally wiped out. Here also you can see a big facility on the outer edge of the whole setup has been wiped out, and this is how it's been going on, and Arjun will explain the rest.
Well, Vishal, why this facility is important to Iran? Well, it's important because it's a key missile research and production hub, viewers. It's located in the northwest part of Iran. It also houses missiles like the Shahzad 1, Shahzad 2, and Shahzad 3. Moving on.
So now we have the Mashhad airfield. This is one of the key airfields that Iran has in its possession. On the left, you can see one of the aircraft just standing there, and on the right, you can see the same aircraft that's been totally demolished. You can see the tail of the aircraft right at the bottom of the screen. So this is how they demolished one of the key airfields of Iran.
Very importantly, viewers, Mashhad is Iran's second largest airport when it comes to traffic. As you see on your screens here, it's also a vital component of the Iranian Air Force. It's a significant military and logistics hub, often used for the refueling of Iranian air defense assets. And also, very importantly, Israeli Air Force has claimed that they've struck it 2,300 kilometers away. It's the longest strike in Israeli Air Force's history till now, as they're claiming. Back to you, Vishal.
So what we have now is the Dezful Air Base that was also attacked. You can see these are some of the UAVs, that unmanned aerial vehicles. And to support those UAVs, these are the fighter aircrafts. And back to the UAVs, these were demolished, and these aircraft were there to protect them, but they were not able to do that. And Arjun will explain how it went down.
As my colleague Vishal was showing you these images of military asset circled right there. So the Dezful base is near Iraq's border, and it's very pivotal when it comes to defending Iranian oil fields and refineries. It also, very importantly, it houses the 4th Tactical Air Base, which is crucial to Iran's air defense, being at the westernmost front. So this is the first line of defense when it comes to tackling the Israeli air threat. Back to you, Vishal.
What we have now to show you guys is the Natanz facility. This is the main enrichment facility that the nuclear program of Iran has. You can see on top of your right screen, the two main outer compounds have been totally demolished. On the left, you have the structure that was left almost unscathed. So this is how they went through the operation. Probably some F-35 aircraft was used to demolish this aircraft, and Arjun will explain why this facility is important.
Well, the Natanz facility, as we know, is pivotal, Vishal, to Iran's nuclear program. And this was the very facility, in fact, I'll tell you, which was the center of the flashpoint back in 2018, when Trump, in his first administration, withdrew from the nuclear deal. It also houses centrifuges, more than 50,000 centrifuges. Right there, you have it on your screens. These are purportedly in the two underground silos. The information we have till now, the IAEA says that 4 overhead structures were in fact struck by Iran. Now, Vishal, the message behind these craters is clear. It's a mix of precision, pressure, and a signal, in fact, that reverberates far beyond Iran's borders.
And Arjun, as the dust settles, the world watches what comes next. Because in this region, every strike redraws the balance.
In today's interconnected world, India's voice is more crucial than ever. When India speaks, the world listens. At NDTV World, we are that voice, bringing you intelligent and insightful news from India and beyond. From geopolitics and diplomacy to economic shifts, migrations, tech disruptions, and the stories of our diaspora. We cover the news that shapes our global future. NDTV World, your new home for global news, is here.
In the last 1 month, if you see, the share prices of Genzol Engineering has fallen more than 58%.
Why are the rating firms calling the debt payments as default?
We have 2 credible credit rating agencies on March 4th coming and downgrading the stock to D.
Statements are consistently being proven wrong, right. And transactions are being taken place which are different from what they were originally pictured to be.
The company claimed it would roll out 6,400 electric vehicles. But what it has rolled out is a shocking scam. Funds meant for the project were funneled allegedly back to the promoters, the Junkie brothers. What did the money buy? Not EVs, of course, but a lavish flat in Gurgaon's luxurious DLF Carmelias.
News is not just headlines, it is what impacts you. And news should never be mistaken for noise. What matters is the reality.
Ladies and gentlemen, a very good evening. You're watching the News Night and I'm Deepthi Sachdeva. We have to talk about what's going on in West Asia, because West Asia is on fire. It is on boil, even as we speak. And this, ladies and gentlemen, is no ordinary conflict. It is a turning point in history. You have missiles that are